is the role or kind of the skill set expectation changing in your mind with like the world of AI? So like you mentioned, hey, do a written exam. I worry we can't do those anymore, at least at Shore, because people will just use AI to do the whole thing. So we have to do things live now a bit more. Have you found that either the skill sets to be successful in the world of AI or to interview people in the world of AI has changed at all?
I think it is important to encourage people to use AI in your interview. So
with a copy, I'll give you a funny example. We had someone who wasn't the interview that I did, but my teammate did it, where the person literally would type in the question. He tried to do it without the interviewer knowing, type it into like ChatGPT and essentially read out the ChatGPT answer in real time. And it was like blatantly obvious that he was essentially asking AI to answer every single question on the call live. That was too much of a use of AI. Like I want to promote use of AI, but not to literally answer the exact question.
If AI is going to answer the question better than any human would, then they should use that. They should maybe be more upfront about it. Say, hey, by the way, that's a good question. Let me ask 3 AIs about it. I'm going to look at those 3 AIs. They're going to synthesize it and give you the best answer. We'll do it in real time together or something. Yeah. But I mean, if AI can answer, if you're asking me a question, what's 25 times 25, and a calculator can answer it better than I can do in my head, I don't know, maybe it is better to just use the calculator. And maybe that question is not a great question to ask. Really, really depends on what the role is and, how you think about that role, et.cetera. So I think for like coding challenges, take-home coding challenges is great. What I would recommend is that you give them like some sort of time. Hey, do this in under 2 hours, under 3 hours or something like that, and record your screen doing it. Use every AI tool you can and send us the full recording on it. And then just watch the tools that they use. If you give someone a coding challenge and they're not using Cursor or some other Windsurf or some sort of like, AI IDE, well, you don't want them anyway, right? So that's simple. You can just immediately eliminate them if they're kind of doing things like totally old school. And then you kind of want to watch, and also you might learn a lot. So, what I have found in talking to people when you ask them to use AI and then you realize, they did this thing, or they built this tool, or they made this presentation, etc. Especially like a marketing person or something like that. Like they're going to be using these AI tools for you. And then you ask them about it, or you see a screen share of what they're doing. And then you can, oh, wow, I never even heard of this tool. Why'd you use that? Oh, yeah, I was like discovering and I found this. It was really easy. Like that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, and you get to go deep and understand why they were thinking a certain way they were thinking.
And by the way, like the best employees are the ones that, the most important skill of this century is the ability to select and manage vendors. There's not even a close number 2 skill. And so if you can spot that in the interview process, those are the people that you want to bring onto your company.
So I've heard this recently from some other folks who saying that's sort of one of the most important, either the most or one of the most important skills. Why do you view that as the most important skill? Or is that more because of AI nowadays and the ability to select and then manage all these agents?
I think it was true way before AI, but it's even more true in the AI world. But almost every company outside of Amazon, Walmart, and the U.S. Army has way more vendors than employees. And sometimes they have 100x more vendors or 10x more vendors than employees. So already, for almost every company, your vendors are actually way more important. And vendors are a lot easier to manage and swap out and change and optimize than employee. And vendors change quickly. If you evaluate someone for your company 6 months ago and you realize they weren't good for your company, it's unlikely that they made themselves so much better today that they're good for your company today. But a vendor could change so radically in 6 months that it could be not good for your company 6 months ago, and today it could be actually amazing for your company. So it's things are changing just much, much faster in the vendor world than a human can change.